Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson of teaching anything from scratch. And this is lesson 4. My name is Praise Heritage, your favorite tutor. And in our last lesson, we made our workflow run automatically using a webhook trigger, which means we no more click the button ourselves again. And today we are making our workflow smarter. In other words, we are going to teach it to make decision on its own based on the data coming in. So I'm going to explain what we are building today and why it matters. Now, let me give a scenario. Imagine you imagine you get the form submission but you only want to send a Slack alert when it is an urgent request, not every single one you get. Or maybe you want to send one emails to a new customers and a different emails to a returning one. That is what we are building today. In other words, it's a workflow that looks at the data, check the condition, and decides which path to take. And this is called a conditional logic. And this particular thing is what makes simple automation into what a genuinely smart one. Now, looking at my screen, this is a particular flow that we built from our last lesson, which is lesson 3. We are just going to make a little adjustment and little changes to explain what I mean and how conditional logic will work in a particular workflow. Now, the node that we are going to use is called the if node. The if node is what I'm going to make use of. Now, this if node is just to think of this if node like something like exactly like a fork in the road. Data comes in and the if node checks a condition you set and then send the data down one of two paths. Do you get what I'm saying now? And the two paths can be true or false. So it's not nothing complicated and it's just a yes or no question. Now let us set up the if condition, the if node and the conditional logic. Now looking at the one on my screen now, this is what we use in our last lesson for my students. This is what we use in our last lesson. So now, what you just have to do now is just separate these two, delete from this point, just shift here, delete this one too, separate them, shift this one down, shift this one up. Yeah. So from this edit feed, we are going to add our if node. So click on this plus, and then we are going to search for if node if. Okay, this is it. So click on it. So now, before we do anything here, now let's say our form has a field called priority. You get what I'm saying now. So what I'm going to do is that I will set a condition to check that okay, is priority equals to urgent or is not equals to urgent. Do you get what I'm saying now? So now, first of all, we have to go back to our form, the form that we make use of the last time. Let me reload. So we need to edit this form back. And what we just have to do here is just that we need to add one more feed to this place. Let's say short answer. Okay, priority. So okay, so that's all. I think let's just no let's just place order. Let's just click on publish. So then let's go back to let's share the link and let's see if what we have is correct. So let's check. So we have the first name and then the priority we can put in the priority is urgent. So now let's go back to the form. Now, yeah, presently your form in our integration, the last lesson, we've already published and make the webbook a production URL instead of a test URL. So you have to delete this because we are building a new workflow. So we have to test first before we make it production, before we make it to live. So we delete this one. And then the next thing we are going to do is just come back to our flow. Let me cancel this. So go back to our webbook, click on it. And then the next thing is we use the test URL, which is this one, copy it again, come back to our integration in our form. click on webbook, click on connect, put the URL there, and click on connect. So it's going to connect again. Now we are connected it. So come back here. So what we just have to do now is we fill in the form and listen for a test event. So let's fill in the form, which is Robert Praise. Let's just put my email. Let's put urgent now. Urgent. So let's come back here. Before you click on submit, come back here and click on listen to test event. So go back here and then click on submit. Yeah, we have our data here. So which is post branch. This is not, I don't need to explain this again because you already understand. So you come here, we have this already. We have our data, which is, let's check if they are correct. We have Robert, yes, we have the last name, we have the praise, we have the email, and then we have the priority, which is urgent. So the next thing is now we go to our edit feed to map them out so that we can know the data we are sending across to our if node. So let's add, so we are going to add another feed here, which is called the priority feed. Do you get what I'm saying now? So it's going to be priority, and then we map this value to which is urgent. This is what I'm mapping. So you map the label at the top, you map the value at the bottom. You see that? And then we click on execute step. So we have the Robert, we have value, and we have the label, which is urgent. Do you see that? So let's cancel that and then let's go to the next thing. So we go here, we click on the if node. Now the if node is what we are making use of today. And then now we are going to set the value, which is going to be label, drag the label here, is equals to, so we type urgent. So now, before I type anything here, um, there's one mistake that new beginners used to make these days, and the mistake is that you're forgetting that if node only checks what you tell it to check. Now if your condition is looking for urgent with a capital U but your data says urgent, which is more like a lowercase u, it won't match. Do you get what I'm saying now? So whatever you are going to be typing here is going to match exactly the data that is going to come. So if I choose small letter u now, it's not going to wrong, but if I make use of a capital letter U as it is coming, it's going to work perfectly. So now let's go on. We have URGENT. So that's just the bonus I want to add to for you guys. So whenever you are trying to use conditional logic or any other kind of logic or any kind of if or any condition, make sure that what you are trying to match is as exactly as the one coming from the other nodes. Now let me just give another bonus again. Apart from if, we have another node called the switch. Now, if to say you are doing multiple condition, it's not true or false. Maybe you are doing true, false, and maybe many other entries like 5 or 6 or many things like or many conditions that you want to do. Instead of using if node, you can make use of a switch node. Switch node has multiple outputs. Do you get? But if node only has two outputs in the sense that if node only has the true or the false one, but the switch aspect, the switch node has the what? The multiple outputs. So now this is urgent. So let's click on execute step. So now you see that it passes it across, which is true is brand, false, you don't have any false brand because it is correct. So now let's go, and then we are going to now cancel this, and then you see now we have two outputs. We have the true, which is with the one item, we have the false with no item. So since it is true, we can send the email directly to him since it is urgent. Since this one is false, it's not something that is not urgent, the priority is not urgent, we map it to Google Sheets to what? To log the details of maybe the client or any or the customers or anything you want to use. You get what I'm saying now? So this is just the little adjustment that we need to do to this thing. So now let me test again with it. So now this send image and append or update row in the sheet is something that we've worked on in the last lesson. So now the little thing that you just have to do to this append or update row now is that you click on it and open it, and then when you open it, now we have email and first name, but now we have to add more. you get what I'm saying now? We have to add more. You get we have to add more to it. Let's reconnect it again. Let's come back to the form. So we have to go to the sheet, add a new feed called status. Do you get what I'm saying now? So you have to add a new feed called status, and then you come here, and then let's click on it again. Just change this once to clear and return it back to append or update row, and then it's going to fetch the column by itself. So we are going to have the email address mapped from this edit feed. But don't need to map the details yet. Just cancel, and then what you're just going to do now is just that we are going to test with another data. Do you get what I'm saying now? We are going to test with another data to also make sure that this one is also fixed. So now let's come back here and let's back this one. Now let's check. Let's do the first. We want to do the first condition. So let's come here, click on this one. Let's paste this one. We want to do the first condition so that this second part, so that you can see that it's working too. So we are going to do this one. Okay. So let's put my name too, and let's put not urgent. Okay. So let's listen to test events to see if it's going to catch them like that. So let's submit. Yeah. So we have the events here now. We have the results here. You see that we have the result which is not urgent. So what we just have to do is just we want to test whether this voice also is working. So and then we are going to okay, this one is already fixed. So what we just have to do is just run this one to this edit feed. Let's just run it also. Execute step. We have the not urgent, and then let's go to the if node, click on it also, execute the step. So we see that we now have true branch this time around. We have the first branch, which is not urgent. Do you see that? Do you see the difference? So now after that, we are going to, you see that this true did not have any item like the urgent one that we did earlier. It was this first that has the item. So click on append row. So we just have to do is just come here and map the address. So we map the email address value to this email address. We map this value, this name to this first name, and then we map this label to this last name. Do you see that? And then if we should execute this step, let me go back to my sheet. Let me delete this name. Let me see, this one is, let me just fix this one as demo, which is priority. Oh, sorry. It should be urgent. Urgent. So let's just test this one, execute and see if it is going to log. So let's check it. Do you see that? We have it's log not urgent. Do you see that? So that's just it. That's just it. There's nothing more than that. So this is the switch node I'm talking about. If you click on this one, this is the switch node. If you search for switch node, so he's gonna bring this one. You see that what item depending on defined expression or rules. So this one has multiple, like you see that it has three or more than this one, like this one. Do you get? So I think that's just all. So the only thing that is different from this particular lesson and the last lesson is the if node, which is called the conditional logic, in the sense that it is used to separate datas and give condition based on what you want. Do you get what I'm saying now? So let's publish this and let's make it live. Let's click on this back, go to the production URL, copy it, and then come back here. So I think Is there a way to edit this? Yeah, edit this. Copy this one. Copy this one, and then we come back here. So we publish this one like this. Let me check if there is not anything to fix here. I think we don't have anything to fix here. Oh, we do have something to fix here. Oh, I don't think we have. I don't think we have. So let's just leave it like that. But basically, one thing now that you should notice now in this particular this one is this data that we mapped here, they are coming from the edit feed. Or I think they're coming from the Google Sheets feed. They're not coming from the if node feed. So that means we need to fix something here. So the only thing that we need to do here is just we need to rerun a test node for urgent again to also map the feed too. So let's come back here. Thank God we have not edited this one. Let's just cancel this one. So let's go back to this form and rerun it again. So we want to rerun urgent again to also map the data coming from the if node, because we need to map data coming from this if node to this last one. You're not going to map from this edit feed, because if you map from this edit feed, it's just going to be sending email directly to where it's not supposed to be sending it to. But this where it gets its data from, and then it's going to send. Do you get what I'm saying now? So let's load this one. So let's do the same email also. So this one is going to be urgent back, so just to map the feed, and then let's come back here. Let's okay, is in text already. So let's list in. So let's submit again. Yeah, we have it here already. So let's scroll down and see. Yeah, urgent. So let's move on to this edit feed again. Execute the step. Don't forget you have to add another feed here. Don't forget you have to add another feed, which is the feed of the label, which is urgent. Don't forget. So, and then we come to the if node. We execute the step. It's going to give us the true branch. Here we have the true branch. Do you see that? And then the true branch goes to Gmail. So we are going to now map the data coming from the. You see that it's showing you red. So if we run it, it's not going to run. That's what I'm saying. So we have to clear this, and then we have to map it from this if node at the top. You're not going to map from this edit feed. You map from the node close to the next node that you're mapping from. So let's change this one back to also the name. Let's clear this one and map the name, which is Robert. Okay. So I think we are good to go then. You don't need to execute it because it's definitely going to work that way. Yeah, it's going to work that way. So then let's save it. No, now let's copy the link back. The production URL link, copy it and come back to the contact form, edit it, copy the link, paste it back here, come back here, and then we publish. And then we save these changes. Yeah, so we are good to go. So now we are live now. So let's go to the execution tab here to check. So we have this one is 21:11. This is 21:13. This is 9:13 on my own time. So now let's run live to see if it's gonna work. So let's put my name and my Gmail. Let me show you my Gmail. Okay, so let's run this one now. Urgent. So we are going to submit. Why is it taking long to load? Submit. Is it my network or what? Is it my internet? I don't know what's wrong. I'm coming 1 second, please. I don't know why it's taking this long to load. Let me just recopy the link. Is it my internet? God, what's this? It's not my internet. Okay, it's working now. The Google Sheet is working. So what's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. What's wrong? I don't know what's wrong with my network or my internet. We're just trying to check to run this thing. It's not wrong. Don't know what's wrong with this. Sorry, please 1 second. Let me fix this so we can just test live and we are good to go. What's wrong with this thing? This is working perfectly fine. Then why is Tally giving me this show? Let me try another Chrome browser. I think I lost connection. Then she load now. I think it's tally.io themselves because I think all other browser, all other tabs on my phones, on my laptops were working perfectly fine. I don't know what's wrong with this tally everything. My Gmail is working perfectly fine. I think let me try search something on Google. What's wrong? This really painful. Anyways, don't worry. You guys know how to make it run it live. Just run it live and then send me a screenshot of your results in your Gmail and in the Google Sheet. Do you get the consent now? So the results here in this send the email, send the message and the results in this Google Sheet and this screenshot of this whole workflow. That's just all what I need to see. That's all I need to see. I don't know what's wrong with my network. Just try to do this rubbish this night. So just this screenshot of this whole flow, and then even anything is telling me I'm offline. What's wrong? No offline for crying out loud sick. How is this thing going offline like this? So as I said, just the screenshot of all this complete workflow, and then the result in the message section and the result in the append sheet or row in the what in this append sheet. Just send me these two screenshots and we are good to go. And sorry, the three screenshots, the full workflow, this and this. So sorry, my network could not allow me to test this in the production live. Don't worry, just test it and then give me the result and show me the results. You know how to test it live, just test it and show me the results, and we are good to go. Thank you. I'll drop the next lesson very soon.